Okay, we are going live. We're going live. Hopefully, the audio is coming through all nice and crispy like. And that was a really weird sound I just got on my end. So hopefully that does not portend bad things. And we are about to find out. So hope that everyone is doing well wherever you are at. Again, happy morning, evening, day, wherever you are at. And hope that you are ready to get into some of the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. And obviously, that's not what is right here on the screen. Say, I had to first make sure that everything was up and running just fine before before switching directly on over to the game because, yeah, audio and whatnot can always can always quickly come back to bite you in the rear in these instances. So I thought I'd do well to start off with a little bit of Deltarune as Chris and friends are playing their way through a video game led by Tenna. And so we will be going through the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince tonight. I'm definitely not going to make it through the whole game. I want to take some time and just kind of enjoy playing through it. And I'll say this, I did get just a couple of minutes kind of under the belt earlier today, just so that way I could kind of get a feel for the game before diving on in, and also confirming it's very much more a fairy tale. It's a storybook more so than a game, at least as far as I have seen, and I really like that. So yeah, we're just gonna have some fun diving into this game, and and uh, and I will definitely have some commentary in terms of I'm gonna definitely have some commentary in terms of how fairy tales are presented, how this story itself is how the story itself is presented, since this is very much a fairy tale story, and there are certain ways that fairy tales are told. Now, when it comes to writing, rules are meant to be broken. But if you want to be able to adequately break the rules, you kind of need to know what they are. So we'll go over some of the rules of fairy tales, and uh, so we'll go over some of the rules of fairy tales as the story goes on, and and just see what this particular game does. Now, I do need to make sure that the the game doesn't immediately deafen people once we start playing. So I'm just making sure that all of that is good. All right, very good. Oh, and then of course, early on, there's a cat. There's a cat here to cause some trouble. I see you there, honey, fat cat. Whoop. Better to get this over and done with at the beginning, huh? Yeah, honey, come on in. Okay, so I do believe that I've got everything well set up now on my end. So without any further ado, let me share my screen, and we're just gonna have some fun getting into this game. So I will be also keeping an eye on the chat. So if any of you've got any sort of questions about the experience playing the game, about fairy tales, about writing, wish to have any sort of commentary going on, we will indeed have that. And if you're interested in Deltarune stuff, tomorrow for our weekly live stream, we will be talking about Deltarune, and specifically about the trope of the girl next door with Des. Even though she's a character who has just barely shown on screen thus far in the game, there is some stuff that we already learned that allows me to kind of do a follow-up for an old video. So I'm excited to share that with you guys tomorrow. But for tonight, we are going to have some fun with the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, and it's largely a blind playthrough on my part, because I've never done this game before, except for just a wee bit, just to kind of get my toes wet earlier today. So, all that being said, let's have the eternal swirl, and here we are, the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. We're going to play a new game. Select a bookmark. We are going to go with red, like Little Red Riding Hood, because we got a wolf in the story.
これはどこか異国の小さな恋のお話です。
This is a tiny tale of love in a faraway land. We're already off to a good start.
あるところに小さな王国を取り囲む闇深い森がありました。
Question for the chat. Should I actually read over what's being said here? Because I know it's in Japanese. You get the text. Do you want my voice? Or shall we just listen to the beautiful Japanese voice?
闇の広がるその森は魔女が支配し、人食いの化け物が徘徊する恐ろしい森でした。森の闇は奥深くへ行くほどに濃さを増し、人々はその闇を恐れ、森の中へ入る者はほとんどいませんでした。
Isaac says, I absolutely love the aesthetic, the artwork, and I love the design of the wolf.
月夜の晩にはとても美しい歌声が聞こえてきます。
As terrible as the forest was, a beautiful singing voice would always pierce the darkness when the moon shone. That's the kind of narrating voice you get from me.
狼を思わせる姿の化け物。彼女は自らの美しい歌声を誇らしげに、毎夜この小高い岩の上で。
The voice belonged to a large wolf. She would proudly sing toward the moon high atop a cliff every night.
そんな狼の歌に変わり者の客が一人。森に囲まれた小さな王国に住む人間の王子です。
The wolf's singing drew in an unforeseen admirer, a human prince from the kingdom surrounded by the forest.
狼の美しい歌声に誘われて、いつの頃からか王子はめったに人の寄りつかぬこの恐ろしい森へ毎夜通うようになっていました。
Every night the prince would venture into the scary forest, just to hear the beautiful song.
狼の歌が終わると、王子はパチパチと拍手を送ります。歌声の主の姿は小高い岩の上に隠れて見えません。でも、そんな姿も名前もわからない歌声の主への王子の興味は膨らんでいくばかりでした。
One night, when the wolf finished singing, the prince applauded. The voice's identity was hidden because of the cliff, but this only piqued the prince's curiosity.
歌い終わった狼はちらりと
Again, guys, let me know. You want my voice over this, or just to let the original narrator speak? I'm fine either
初
way.
めて王子が歌を聴きに来た時には、バカな獲物だ、歌い終わったら食べてしまおうと思っていました。
Can't even really get into it using little voices. What stupid prey, she thought. I should eat him now that I'm finished singing. Well, then the story would end, my dear wolf.
王子から無邪気な拍手を送られ、今まで歌を褒められたことのない狼は最初は戸惑いましたが、そのうちに悪くない気持ちになり、なんだか食べる気がなくなってしまったのでした。
However, the prince had innocently applauded the wolf, who had never before been praised for her singing. She hesitated at first, but for some reason, she soon grew fond of it, and didn't feel like eating him.
そんな夜を何度か繰り返した狼は、今では王子の拍手を楽しみに歌を歌うようになっていました。
For several more nights, the wolf sang her song, always looking forward to the prince's applause.
だけど、狼は考えます。私の正体が化け物だって知られたら、人間の王子は怖がって、もう歌を聴きに来てくれなくなるかもしれない。
But the wolf
狼
thought,
は王子に姿を見られることを恐れるようになります。
if he finds out that I'm a monster, he'll get scared and he won't come listen to me sing anymore.
この日も歌い終えた狼は王子の拍手を聞きながら森の影へと逃げるように姿を隠すのでした。
So I'm just going to take in the slow pace at the beginning of this game
そんな夜が何度か繰り返され、季
because
節が変わる頃、
since this is already coming across as a game that's going to be very story
自慢の
intensive,
歌を歌います。
I think it's best then to let the game kind of speak for
い
itself.
つもと変わらない静かな夜です。
And I really like the blend that we kind of get of the Japanese aesthetic with the more stylized European setting. Very much your big bad wolf meets your innocent
王
prince.
子にとっては特別な夜でした。王子はこの日、小さな決意を抱いて森に入ります。
However, tonight was a special night for the prince. He entered the forest filled with determination.
その決意とは、歌声の主に会うこと。歌声の主に会って、もっと仲良くなりたい。そんな気持ちを胸に、王子は小高い岩を登ります。
He wanted to see the identity of the singing voice with his own two eyes. The prince climbed the cliff, his heart full, which you would almost never have in a typical fairy tale. I'll explain a little bit more later on after we're done here with the introduction.
いつもはすぐに鳴り響く王子の拍手が聞こえません。どうしたんだろうと足元を見てみると、すぐそばまで王子がやってきているではありませんか。
And now the prince arrives.
姿を見られたら嫌われちゃう。狼は突然のことに大慌て。見られちゃいけない。そんな気持ちで大きな手を王子の目元へ伸ばします。その手についた爪が
Bad move
王
there,
子の
wolf.
目を引き
Bad
裂くこ
move.
とになるとは思いもしませんでした。
So just gonna say, if you don't want someone to know your singing identity in public, don't sing in public. Lesson learned. That's the moral of the story.
突然襲いかかってきた衝撃に王子は岩から足を滑らせてしまいます。この高さから人間が落ちたら、狼は慌てて王子の腕をつかみます。
So the whole falling thing is going to come into play later.
その時王子の腕に伝わったのはゾワゾワとおぞましい毛の感触。何もわからぬまま目を傷つけられた上に、得体の知れない恐ろしいものに腕をつかまれた王子の恐怖は一体どれほどのものだったでしょうか。王子は狼の手から逃れようと必死で暴れます。悲鳴を上げながらジタバタと。その悲鳴を聞いた狼は王子を怖がらせていることに動揺し、思わずスルリと王子の腕を離してしまいます。どさ、王子は岩の下へと落ちてしまいますが、幸いなことに茂みの上に落ち、大きな怪我はないようです。狼に引き裂かれたその目以外はですが。
So this is how we get the blind
王国の
prince.
兵士が現れ、王子のもとへ駆け寄ります。王子の悲鳴を聞いて、近くを見回っていた兵士が様子を見に来たのです。岩の上に王子を傷つけた化け物がいるに違いないと、兵士は慌てて矢を放ちます。
This right here is just
狼は王子のことが
such a
気がかり
cool
でしたが、
image.
矢
I
の雨に
really,
追わ
really
れ
like
て
the
は
look of this.
森の中へ逃げ込むし
The
かあ
way
り
that her
ませんで
eyes are
した。
placed, the fright. Just there's something about it that's just so incredibly aesthetically pleasing.
深い傷を負った王子は少しずつ意識を失っていきます。その目と腕に忘れられない恐怖の記憶を
Hey, Guy is here. Great to have you here, Guy.
刻みつけながら。
All right. So before I continue on with the narration, I want to highlight a couple of things. So obviously we have a very fairy tale esque story going on right here with the setting and with the way that it's just being told. Like here you have this mystical forest. You got the big bad wolf, but with the beautiful singing voice. Is alone in the woods, singing her songs to the moon every night, and then there is then there's this young prince who appreciates the music, who wants to know who the singer is, and he's not supposed to be there. He's not supposed to be in these woods, and neither is he supposed to go exploring, because he could very easily get himself injured, as we see here in this image. And we got I'm Omega here. Woohoo! I am also here, and ISO. How late am I? Let's see here. You are about not even 15 minutes late, so not too bad. Take a quick drink right there. And so a couple of things to know when it comes to the structure of fairy tales. Fairy tales are meant to communicate not necessarily life lessons. Those are fables. But fairy tales communicate simple truths to people. Truths about goodness, truths about consequences, truths about the actuality of evil. Things like that. They're very simple. Anyone who tries to find really, really deep meaning in a fairy tale is probably stretching it a little bit more than they should. There are some very meaningful fairy tales, and I hope to actually get around to some of those, but a lot of fairy tales are actually fairly straightforward. One of the things that makes fairy tales very straightforward is if you break the rules of that fairy tale, if there's like a certain thing like, do not go over this bridge at night, you do not go to the ogre's castle, you do not speak to witches, stuff like that. Should you break those rules, bad things will happen. In the case of the prince has been injured. He has lost his eyesight because he went to the forest, because he went looking for the person who was singing. These are big no-nos. As a result, what has happened to him is only natural. By fairy tale logic, awesome. We're moving on ahead. Where the game already is going to then take a twist from your typical fairy tale is that the monster who injured him, rather than just being pure evil, like most fairy tales would present her, the wolf likes the prince, at least appreciates the prince's applause and the motivation that the prince brings to her for her beautiful music. And she will start feeling guilt because of this. As a result, the monster now tries to step into the role as a heroine. So this is already then a massive deviation from your typical fairy tale setup. And so we're going to have to see how it goes from here, because obviously the aesthetic, everything is leaning very heavily into your classic fairy tale. But already we are going to get a massive deviation, which again, that's absolutely fine. Once you know the rules, you can start learning how to break them. But one of the things, again, about fairy tales is that fairy tales keep it very simple and direct. Guy says, the concept of this game is so intriguing, I'm afraid I'm going to cry. We'll see. I might as well. Well, I might as well. We're going to find out as I play through this. Stormcrow's here. Great to have you here, Stormcrow. Howdy, sir. If you're looking for any amazing fairy tale inspired games, check out Slay the Princess. Ooh, I've heard about that. I've not, though, actually played that. And I says, not what I was expecting. All right. So, continuing onwards.
あれから何度かの夜が過ぎて
Several nights later,
化け物に顔を引き裂かれ光を失った
and I still haven't heard back from anyone in the chat. You want me to actually narrate on top of the narration, or shall we just let the beautiful Japanese voice say everything and read the text? I'm okay with either. I can put on my sweet narrating voice if necessary.
王子のことが気になっていた狼はお城の兵士の立ち話を聞き王子が幽閉されていることを知ります。なんてひどい話なのと憤慨した狼は
I says I'm not reading, I like the narration. Alright.
塔へと忍び込むのでした。
And guy says, I want you to narrate it. Alright, so get my voice ready. The wolf was concerned about the prince and overheard some soldiers in the castle say they had been locked away. That's awful, she thought angrily, and she snuck into the tower to check on him. And now we get to finally play the game. Funny thing is, so because I've already kind of played around just a little bit earlier to get my feet wet, I know that I can jump and slash, but this game will not let you until it is time to finally murder these people. I feel kind of bad because that might have actually been the guy who helped the prince earlier, so sorry, my dude. Your spears mean nothing to me. I'm an eldritch monster. Hey, we got Tyler Goodman here, and we got Judah. Great. Narration would be nice. All right. Shall continue on with the narration. Sorry, man. You have to die. Ooh, you're made of tougher stuff. The door will open if you touch it when you have the key. Alright, let's get ourselves to the prince. Now then, real quick, I know I'm kind of stopping the game here to interject a little bit again, but for anyone who's like, well, that seems kind of dumb, why lock up the prince when he's all injured? This isn't just a Japanese aesthetic thing. The Japanese definitely, back in the day, were very much like, if you're injured, that's like marring your beauty, that's unacceptable, and therefore you've lost value in our eyes. But, like, even in medieval times, like, if you were older and got, like, scars in battle, well, that's a very manly thing to get. But beauty was very much appreciated. And if you are a young nobleman or young noblewoman and you get yourself horribly marred, the chances of easily marrying you off, or the chances of people liking you suddenly went down, so therefore your value as a noble person actually went down as well. So honestly, the prince, unfortunately for him, brings about a whole bunch of shame. He's basically been disowned because he got so grievously injured. Yes, our modern sensibilities rightfully say, no, take care of the boy, but back in the day, sorry kid, you broke the rules, this is your punishment. Very fairy tale-esque. Also, it just allows for the story to continue. The wolf came across a cold room and saw the distressed prince sitting inside.
誰かが入ってくる気配を感じ、王子は顔を上げます。その顔にはまるで汚いものを隠すように大きな布がぐるぐると巻かれていました。
The prince sensed someone nearby and raised his face. A large cloth was wrapped around his eyes, as if to hide something shameful and dirty.
王子、
All right, guy's taking his leave as to not be spoiled. I understand, but thanks for dropping by. Prince, the wolf said uncertainly.
その声は森で歌っていた人。声だけでわかるんだ。と、狼は少し驚きます。
That voice! The singer in the forest? The prince said. He can recognize me by my voice, the wolf thought.
そうだよ。僕、あそこで化け物に襲われちゃって。でも、君は大丈夫だったんだね。よかった。
Yeah, that's right, the wolf responded. I was attacked by a monster in the forest, the prince said, but I'm glad you're all right. Real quick, Stormcrow says, hey Lars, I had this brain-scratching thought for a bit. So Curse and Boom is essentially Toby's trademark J.R.R. Tolkien. By that token, would H.P. Lovecraft analog be written? Would a H.P. Lovecraft analog be writing in Deltarune? I don't know. Play that one out yourself. I think you could come up with something interesting as far as Here's the thing, though. I'll already be honest with you. If you're thinking, if you're actually taking cosmic horror to its ultimate conclusion, thanks to the information that we get in Chapter 4 about this star, and the more that we come to learn about other demons on the periphery, shapes in the night, fear of the darkness, we're basically getting a Lovecraftian story in Deltarune, or at least Deltarune has the flavoring of one. Alright, so, continuing onwards.
王子は安心したように少し微笑みます。そんな王子の姿を見て、狼の胸が少し痛みます。
The prince smiled a bit with relief. The wolf felt her chest ache when she looked at his ragged figure.
会いに来てくれてありがとう。でもどうやって？王子の素朴な疑問に狼が答えに困ります。
Thank you for coming, but how did you know I was here? The wolf didn't know how to respond to that question.
私は隣国の姫なの。王子のお見舞いがしたいって言ったらどうしてくれたわ？
I'm a princess from a nearby kingdom,
王子の目が
the
見えない
wolf
のをいい
lied,
ことに。
remembering that the prince couldn't see her. I said I wanted to visit the ill prince, and they let me in.
それより王子がこんなところに閉じ込められるなんておかしいわ。
Anyway, forget that. I can't believe you're trapped in here.
でも僕、化け物に顔をぐちゃぐちゃにされちゃって、目も見えなくなったし、
But I
二度と人
I
前
was
に出ちゃ
attacked
ダ
by
メ
a
だって。
vicious monster, and my face is
だから
awful.
も
My
う
vision is
外には出
gone.
られないと思う。
I can't wander outside.
王子はうつむきな
I'm
がら言い
forbidden
ました。
from showing my face in public ever again, the prince said, his head hanging sadly.
だったらその目、森の魔女に直してもらおうよ。
Utagum says, hey, just wanted to let you know that Glitch Productions now has 18.2 million subs. So I guess that's amazing. I guess that the Amazing Digital Circus episode 8 trailer is working for getting subs. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for next week. Let's ask the witch of the forest to heal your eyes. The prince looked dumbfounded upon hearing her idea.
森の魔女？絵本に出てくるあの森
The
の魔女。
witch? You mean the witch of the forest? Like the one from the storybook?
森の魔女は何でも願いを
Storybook?
叶えてくれる。
I'm not sure. But the witch can grant
その目を
all
直してもらえ
wishes.
るわ。
She can fix you.
魔女は森の奥深くに
So
住ん
this
で
story
る
is
んだけ
very
ど、
much, I can
私
fix
が連れ
him.
て行ってあげる。狼はいいことを思いついたと。
The witch lives deep inside the forest. I could take you there. The wolf was excited at the prospect, but the prince's head continued hanging.
こんな僕を森の奥まで連れて行くのは大変だよ。それに
It'd be hard for me
僕の目
to
を潰した
it'd be
化け
hard to
物
take
も
me deep inside the
おぞ
forest.
ましい手の感触が
And the monster that rendered me
ずっと
blind,
腕に残ってるんだ。
I can still feel its claws on me.
王子は言葉に詰まり、
The prince couldn't
その
continue.
肩は
His
小
shoulders
刻みに
trembled.
震えていました。王子の言葉に狼は目線を落とします。目に映るのはゾワゾワとした傷つける
The
ことしか
wolf
知らない
dropped her gaze after hearing his words.
その手には
She looked at her
王子を
paws.
傷つけた感
All
触
she
が
saw were sharp claws that were made for hurting others.
王子をここから連れて行きたいけど、この化け物の手では王子の手を引くことすらできな
I
い。
want to take the prince from here, the wolf thought. But I can't hold his hand with these monstrous claws.
狼は強く強く手を握りしめました。そうしてもう一歩
Determined,
王子の方へ
she
歩み寄
clasped
り
her
ます。
paws quietly and stepped closer to the prince.
王子、やっぱり私が連れて行くわ。狼の声に
I'll take you to the forest to see the witch. The prince slowly raised his head,
少しだけ待っ
the
ていて、
wolf's voice.
必ず迎えに来るから。
Just wait here a bit.
そう言い
I'll
残
be
す
back shortly.
と狼は塔を
She then fled the castle tower
森の中へ
and
と走
ran
り出し
into
ま
the
した。
forest.
一晩中森を駆け抜け、狼がその館に着いた頃には月は沈
I
み
love the design for the
森は
witch.
朝の光に
It's so
包まれ
good.
ていました。
She ran all night through the forest. The sun was rising when she arrived at the witch's house.
突然の来訪者に森の魔女が目元を歪めます。
The witch of the forest turned her gaze to the sudden visitor.
人食い狼が
Oh,
魔女の館ま
what
で
a rare
一体
customer.
何の用か
A
な。
man-eating wolf coming all the way here. What's this about?
私を人間にしてここまで連れてきてあげたい人がいるの。ずる賢い狼の仲間が懸命な態度
I wish to become a human.
森の魔女
There's
が
someone I
かしそうに
want you to see.
と笑います。
The witch let out a hearty laugh. Sly wolves rarely said such things.
人食い
What
狼
else
が
Watch
人
doing
間にだ
here?
って面白いことを言う
I
じゃ
agree
ない
with you, Judah. The music is great. I love it. It works so well.
いや、おおよそ見当がつくから言わなく
A
ていい。
man-eating wolf?
魔
Become a
女に
human?
避けるようなもの
How
を
amusing.
狼が
But
震えています。
why on earth? Never mind. No need to divulge the details. I believe I already know why. The wolf growled at the witch's mockery.
今にも噛みつきそうな狼を制するように、魔女は狼の鼻先に杖を突きつけました。
The witch
もちろん
prodded
そ
the
の願い
wolf's nose.
叶え
The
てあ
latter
げる。
looked ready to bite at any time. But of course, I shall grant your wish.
その代わり、分かっているね。どこからともなく不正に現れた
But you do know what I mean.
怪
Yes?
しい球体のうちの
Strange
一つを
glowing
引き寄せ、
spheres appeared out of
魔
nowhere.
女は愛おし
The
そうに
witch pulled
大
one
き
to
く
her
ため息を
and
つきます。
sighed, admiring it.
なんて美しいんだろう。どれ一つとして同じ輝きはない。唯一無二の一品たちだよ。
Beautiful.
魔女の
Each
手の
one
中で
differs from the
球
others.
体はぼんや
All
りと
unique
淡く輝きま
gems.
す。
The sphere's vivid glow pulsed in the witch's palm.
魔女の願いを叶える大事として願いを持つ者の一番大切にしているものを魔
The
法で
witch
取り
was a collector with a rather crude temperament. In return for granting wishes, she took the requester's most cherished possession and turned them into crystals.
美しさの隠し味は大切なものを取り上げられた無念の心だね。放つ光にほのかなまがまがしさが加わる。
The most beautiful hearts are the ones willing to lose what's important to them in order to get what they want.
お前のはどんな輝きを見せてくれるんだろうね。
So,
魔女は眠り
what
をするよ
will
うに
your heart
狼の瞳を
reveal
覗き
to
込みました。
me? The witch peered into the wolf's eyes as if to discern a suitable payment.
その歌声を代償にいただこうか。
Yes. How about your singing voice as compensation? So we got a little bit of Little Mermaid going right here.
狼は魔女の悪趣味を知っていたので、歌声を求められることは
My singing
少し
voice?
覚悟していました。
The wolf knew that the witch had a
それ
wicked
で
streak,
も、
and she
狼
knew
の
she
心は
had to
揺れ動きま
sacrifice
す
the。most important thing to her. Still, her heart trembled, doubtful.
王子が褒めてくれた自慢の歌声と、王子の手を引く人
So again,
間の
like very
姿
like
との間に、
Little Mermaid-esque right here. I just, again, it's great having that twist of rather than it being the hero or the heroine, you've got the monster who's now being put into the situation. Her beautiful singing voice that the prince praised, or the chance to hold his hand.
わかった。私の歌声を差し出すわ。その時、
Okay, I'll give you my singing voice in exchange.
まるでにやりと笑って
The
いるか
mouth
のよ
of
う
the
に
witch's mask
歪んで
curled
見え
up,
ました。
as if giving an evil grin.
いい覚悟だね。交渉成立だよ。
Excellent. Payment accepted.
プライドの高いお前から願いの代償を取れるなんてね。人生何があるかわ
I
からない。
didn't expect to get this from one so prideful. But I suppose life
せっ
is
かくだし、
full
サー
of
ビスをしてやろうじゃ
surprises.
ないか。
Well, I'm in a good mood,
魔
so 'll
女の
give you
優しく
a
貫き
little
ます。
something extra. The witch's eyes twinkled dubiously.
お望みの姿に変えてやろう。ご希望はあるか
I'll give
い？
you
その言葉で
whatever form
狼
you
は王子
desire.
の手を引く
What do
自
you
分の姿を
want?
思い描きました。
The wolf remembered what she had told the prince.
お姫様みたいにして。魔女は狼の言葉に
Want to look like a princess? The witch chuckled softly at the wolf's choice.
これは可愛らしい趣味だね。
My, what a lovely idea.
だけどいいのかい？あんたもお相手も
You're sure of that?
ここまで来る
You
のは
and your
化け物の
human
お腹の中
friend
だよ。
will be devoured by monsters
人間を連れてく
before
る
you
ことまで
even
見通
get
しな魔女
here.
に薄気
The
味悪
wolf
さ
was
を感じながら
unnerved and hung her head,
狼が
ashamed that the witch had seen how
それは困るわ
futile her plan
頭を抱
was.
え考えてなかったのかい？ずる賢い割に抜けてるところも
Didn't
ある
think about that, did you?
それじゃ
Even clever wolves can be dull sometimes.
いつで
I'll
も
modify
狼
the
の姿に
spell
戻れるように
so you can return to wolf form at any
魔女の
time.
指先に魔
A
法の色が
magical light
輝き始めまし
appeared
た。
as she began the ritual.
狼の体で魔法の光が包み込み、光の一部は魔女のもとへ集まります。
The magical light wrapped around the wolf's body. A part of the light gathered near the witch.
あんたの歌声は確かに受け取ったよ。魔女はクツクツと 嬉しそうに
I've received your singing voice as the toll, the witch said with an eerie smile. The light around the wolf suddenly shone bright and then faded.
まだ狼の姿のままみたいね。拍子抜けした様子で狼は言います。
But I'm still a wolf.
ややこしい。
The wolf looked sad and disappointed.
体が魔法に
It's a complex spell, the witch said. Give your body one night to get used to it.
夜が過ぎ、館を出ようとする狼の背中へ。魔女が声を
A task complete, the wolf departed the house. However, the witch stopped her in her tracks.
そうそう。月の光には気をつけるんだよ。狼の力は月の光を受けると強くなる。
Almost forgot.
そしたら
Beware of the
人間の姿で
moonlight,
いるのは難
yes?
しいだろうから。
If you fall under it, you will immediately turn back into a wolf.
わかったわ。ありがとう。
Okay, thank you. Again, I have some more thoughts to share on this here once we get through this story part.
なんて素敵なんだろう。期待と喜びで胸をいっぱい
Soon,
にしながら
I'll be human and hold the prince's hand. I'm so excited!
駆け戻るのでした。
Full of hope, the wolf eagerly anticipated returning to the castle tower, where the prince was waiting. Okay,
魔女
So-
の館を出て一夜が過ぎ、
so again, thinking of fairy tales, this whole exchange. I don't know how many of you have ever seen the movie The Swan Princess. It's from the early 90s. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. It is such a
魔女
great
の
movie.
言葉を思い出します。
But like the explanation of the witch to the wolf is very similar to Ursula speaking to Ariel from the Disney movie, but also it actually smacks a whole lot of Rothbard explaining his curse to Odette. Now, don't let my little spell make you sad, Odette. It doesn't even last the whole day. As soon as the moon comes up, and then the moon rises, the light touches Odette, and she transforms from swan back into her human self. And that's how it works. Every night, you have to be on the lake, of course. And as soon as the moonlight touches your wings, now, Odette, this sort of spell doesn't give me any pleasure. Maybe a teensy bit. But what I really want is your father's kingdom. It is such a great moment of heroine versus villain as the villain explains his whole evil plan, and he's just in this position of just absolute power, where it's like there's no way that Odette or anyone else can really go against him. His spell has been cast, and that's kind of the situation that we find ourselves in now. Here, the wolf has made her bargain. She is now subject to the spell of the witch, which again, in fairy tales, there are consequences to doing what you know you shouldn't. The wolf does know better. The wolf knows better than to go to the witch and ask for help. But it's the one thing that she can think of to help the prince. So she's willing to make the exchange. But again, always within fairy tales, it's about consequences. And so we will get to see how these consequences play out from this point on.
王子はもう目の前です。狼は姫への
The
変身を
prince was
試
in
してみよう
sight.
と思いま
The
した。
wolf focused on transforming into the princess. And now, magic! Huzzah! Whee!
王子。姫は王子に声をかけます。
The princess called out to the prince.
戻ってきてくれたんだ。
Prince?
ありがとう。
Princess! You came
で
back.
も
Thank you, but
大丈夫だよ。王子を連れ出すために いろいろ準備したんだから。
Don't worry. I worked hard to be able to let you out,
王子を不
the
安にさせ
princess
ない
said
よう
brightly,
明るく
trying
言い
to
ます。
ease the prince.
まずは王子を檻から出さないと。
All
この
right,
檻なら
she thought.
狼の力
I
が
have to
壊
get
せ
him
そう
out
で
of the
す。
cell. I can
その
destroy
ため
the
には
bar. I can destroy
王
the
子
bars
の
as a
檻から
wolf.
離れてもらわない
But
と
the
いけま
prince
せん。
needs to get away from them first.
ちょっと檻から離れてくれる？
Um,
うん。
could you
わかっ
step
た。
back a little?
姫
Okay.
の言葉に戸惑
Despite
い
the
ながらも
prince's confusion at
王
her
子は牢の
instructions,
奥へと
he
下
stepped
がりま
back
した。
from the bars. Let's attack this thing and destroy it. Silly iron bars. They got nothing on this wolf. Now that if you play this, you have to be holding down J all this time in order to move the prince around.
王子の手をつかみます。王子は少し怯えながらも弱々し
The
く
princess timidly grasped the prince's tiny, warm hand.
歌声を引き
Though
換え
he
ても
was scared, he
人の
weakly
姿が
grasped
手に
his
入れてよ
back.
かった。
I gave up my singing voice to be human, she thought, feeling joyful.
喜びを
But
感
I'm
じ
glad I did.
さあ、森の魔女のところへ行きましょう。ちゃんと私についてきてね。
Let's go to the Witch of the Forest. Make sure you stay close to me, okay? So, in order to do this, you gotta hold on. Whoop. You gotta hold on to the prince's hand, because if you go around, like here I am running, and I suddenly let go, whoop, nope, prince ain't coming. Wait, let's go have a look back again at that fun little sad teddy bear. Woo! All right. Story introduction done. Tutorial basically complete.
こうして王子の目を直す
It is
ため
now time
化け物の森を
to
越えて
enter the
魔
deadly
女の館を目指
forest
す
and make our way
嘘つき姫
to
と
the witch's
盲目王
house.
子の旅が始
And
まったの
so
です。
their journey finally began. Now, I know that is it's slow. You can, if you're playing this on your own, you can just hit next, and just like blaze through this. But because this is a fairy tale story, and really this is a game that focuses far more on what the story has to tell us, it's the kind of thing that I don't think that you should skip. So if you're looking for a really rough and tumble game, this is probably not going to be it. But if you're looking for a game that is going to tell us an interesting story, so far it looks pretty promising. And again, I really do like how we're reusing things that we recognize as this belongs to the Little Mermaid, this belongs to Swamp Princess. There's a little bit of Little Red Riding Hood and all of this thrown into the mix. If you happen to know your story of Rapunzel being blinded, that's actually actually not Rapunzel being blinded, but the prince being blinded. That is also from the original fairy tale, which is not entangled. Eugene does not get blinded. So, right here, we've got all these different known fairy tale elements coming together to tell an original story. This is something that we as writers do all the time. You do not need to try to come up with something that no one has ever heard of before. If you try doing that as a writer, you're going to be bashing your head against the wall, and then you'll be disappointed when you come up with something because someone else will likely have done something either the exact same or similar. Instead, we take things that inspire us and we merge them together to tell the story that we wish to tell. And that's kind of what we've got going on here. So, let's continue playing through the game and see where we go. So, gotta make sure that I'm holding on to the prince's hand. And here we go. Whee! Whee! Love the little background we got going on here. Oh! We got ourselves some badger. Some bumblebee badger. Alright. Whoop. Okay, Prince. I love how the lanterns kind of have the witch's hat going on. It's just a neat little detail. Oop. Didn't quite grab his hand there. Ah. Oh no! No! Oh! I pushed the little bumblebee thing towards the prince. I got the prince eaten. Well, there we go. We got our first death of the game. Okay, but no. This time. There we go. All right. Now then, something I've learned is that if you do too much falling, you will hurt the prince and kill the prince. So as this game goes on, you want to avoid doing really crazy jumps. As fun as they are, we're gonna try to be gentle to our little blind boy, because he be squishy, as we've already well established, I hope. All right. Taking our prince to the witch's place. How difficult can it be? We've only killed him once so far. Ah, no! Oh, wait. What is this? What devilry is this? Let's see what happens. Oh, I didn't slash the prince. Whew. That could have been disastrous. Could have killed him a second time. Ah, this way to the witch's hut. Alright, what do we got here? Okay, let's see if we can jump up. Huzzah! Alright, gotta turn back into the princess and use the lever. Ooh. Alright. I see. Bull feather, it just lets you know what the key is to surviving that particular issue. And now, oh, it's time to make some jerky. Some bumblebee badger jerky. All right. Come, Prince. All right, so we got ourselves a little lever thing. Let's see, can we jump it? Nope, we can't. All right. Well, that doesn't help us out a whole lot. Huh. Nope. Let's see here. What to do? How shall we help you out, fair prince? Well, oh, there we go. Oh, okay, I got it now. We'll let go of his hand. And then raise it all the way on up. And then, as the wolf... Okay. So a simple puzzle, nothing too hard here. All right, we got something rickety going on here. Let's see what happens. It's a floor that's likely to collapse at any moment. If more than 3 people stand on it, it will collapse. The wolf weighs the same as 2 people. Do not ask a woman how much she weighs. All right. Oof, poor prince. All right. There we go. Another witch's lantern. We are on the right trail now. Okay, let's see here. I think I need to go. There we go. And oh. Yay. Wait a second. Is there a little... No. I'm so used to stuff like Hollow Knight and the likes, where it's like, there might be something hidden around here. Alas, that's not what was going on. Oof. I once to get there. Okay. Ooh. Don't hit fair, Prince. Maybe I've got to be... Oh, wait a second. I think I know what I have to do. I need to become the princess. Ooh. Oh, that's a little... Oh, wait a second. Leave the prince here. Got it. Sorry, Prince. Don't worry, I'll come back after I raid this treasure chest. I've got myself a key now. And there's a secret, which I shall explore for the completionist. And yeah, that's actually kind of sad to think about here. The fate of the completionist, all that stuff there. That's just, dang it! Can't transform right there. I gotta rush. Yes, took out the boar. And remember, fall damage will hurt you in this game. So, something to be mindful of, especially if you have to deal with the prince. All right, yay! Made it through. Ooh, nope, come back here, grab the prince. No! Don't you dare hurt my poor sweet blind boy! They talked to each other during their journey. She mentioned that she enjoyed running around, and he confided that he liked reading. Which is a real shame because the kid's blind now. I love books about flowers. So I can't leave the castle that often, so I thought it'd be nice to finally see flowers in the outside world. And that's sweet but sad at the same time. So now we have a better understanding for why he was in the woods. While they were talking, there was a rustling sound. A small monster appeared from the bushes and leapt towards the prince. The prince's head barely escaped being bitten by the monster. The princess quickly transformed into the wolf and brushed the monster away.
でも王子にとっては暗闇の中での突然の出来事です。
Everything happened so
怖く
fast,
なってその
and
場
for
に
the
しゃがみ
prince,
込
he
んで
could
しまい
not
まし
see
た。
what was going on. He crouched
少し
down
前にこの
on
森
the
で
spot,
怖いも
shaking
のがあ
in
ったばかり
fear.
なので
He couldn't
無
help
理も
it.
ありません。
He'd recently had a scary experience in the forest.
なんとかしないと、と狼は慌てます。でも
The wolf
怖がる
panicked.
人間に何をしてあ
I've
げ
got
れ
to
ば
do
いいのか
something! But she had no
狼は
idea
全
what
然
to
思い
do
つ
for
き
the
ません。
frightened prince.
すがる思いで周りを見渡します。
She desperately glanced
そ
around.
こで
A beautiful flower field caught her eye.
綺麗な
She
花
looked at
畑。
it and remembered what the
その花
prince had
畑を見
said.
て、さっきの王子の話を思い出しました。
Of course! I can give him flowers! Now, one things I like about this is, so again, fairy tales are very straightforward and direct. You will find that if you go reading through most known fairy tales, they're not very dialogue heavy. And so it's nice to come across a story where you get real dialogue happening between the characters. And you'll find that a lot of the fairy tales that have far more dialogue in them are usually the ones that pack a much greater punch. Because a story lives or dies by its characters. And the more that we get to know the characters, the stronger the story becomes. And so, again, even though this is a story that's definitely leaning very much into its fairy tale roots, it's adding a little bit more to it. And that's one of the things that I particularly enjoy as I've done my own fairy tale retellings in books like Puss in Boots and the Dark Riddles or The White Snake, is giving these characters real personalities and exploring them through their dialogue and not just through their actions. So, that being said, let's get back to this. Woo. Prince. Fine. The prince is worried. I gotta go pick up this flower. Oh, it's so cute. She's picking it up. Approach the prince and give him the flower.
王子、これあげる。姫は王子に一輪の花を手渡しました。
This is for you. The princess handed a flower to the prince.
これは花？
A flower? It smells so nice.
王子さっき
Yeah, you said you love books about flowers. The prince smiled happily at the princess's
王
words.
子は嬉しそうに微笑み、
Someone showing interest in what I like? Yay!
目が見えないのが残念だな。
Thank you. I wonder what kind of
こ
flower
れ
it
で
is.
目が治る
I
楽しみ
can't
が
see it
一
though.
つ増えたよ。
I'm more excited to see it once my
王子
eyes
の
are
様子を
healed.
見て、姫は一安
She was
心です。
relieved to see him happier.
何かお礼がしたいな。そうだ。姫はあま
I
り
want
本
to
は
thank
読まない
you.
んだよね。
I know. Do you read a lot of
よかった
books?
ら
I want to
僕が
hear
本
a
で読ん
story.
だお話を
I
教
want
え
to
てあ
hear a
げよう。
story I read one. You want to hear a story I read one time? The prince is just so innocent. I
こ
love
ん
it.
なに喜んでもらえるなんて。王子ととても仲良くなれた気がし
The
て、
princess didn't expect the prince to be so happy, but she felt like she was already becoming closer to him.
また花を摘んできてあげよう。
I'll pick more flowers when I see another flower field, the princess thought, smiling. So now we have another quest. Collect flowers for the prince. Nice and cute. All right. Come on, Princey boy. Time for us to get going again. And not get ourselves ridiculously hurt. Ah! Darn it. I cannot so easily transform. There's gonna have to be a timing thing. There we go. Don't worry, Prince. Everything is safe now. I've got you. Ah! Oof. Yeah, when you do stuff like that, you get really close to accidentally injuring the prince. Oh. Alrighty. Let's claw this thing up. Prince is like, man, I'm hearing a lot of violence going around. What's happening here, princess? Don't mind all those dangerous sounds. Everything's totally fine, you know? Even on the collapsing floor, it's okay if you're right on the turtle's back. Ah! Well, that went over well. Okay. Alright, Prince, watch how we jump. Oh no! The jumping is going to be more the bane of me than any monster in this game. Alright, there we go. Survived it this time. Woohoo! Alright, Prince. There are things to explore. Huh. Okay. Interesting. We have ourselves another little puzzle. So what? Oh, I see. There we go. Ah, my prince! Ah, so. Alright, sorry, Prince. I gotta leave you there for a little bit. Don't worry. Don't worry, you got this. Okay. This is probably dumb to try, but we're gonna try this anyway! Oof! You made me fall. The prince is absolutely lost and confused right now. What happened to the princess? I'm trying to get the absolute completion. Ah! I gotta wait. Elevator coming down. While we wait, what is your favorite elevator story? There we go. Huzzah! I got all of the little golden petals. I don't know why I want all of them. I just know I do. Prince's like, what took you so long? Well. We can worry about that later, you know? Oof. Don't worry, Prince. Everything will be better. Eventually. Oh no. More turtles. Oh well, at least we can just walk from one to the other here. And don't get yoinked off to another place. Alright. Oof. This poor boy is just keeps falling flat in his face. Ah! I must go and deal with these. Yeah, there we go. Huzzah. Okay. Don't worry, Prince. The ghost is clear. Yes, the next marker. Alright. Let's see where we go from here. The footing might break with 2 people on it. Hold the prince's hand and ask him to walk with Z and C. Okay. So C. Oh, okay, I get it now. Okay. So let's see here. Oh, no, Prince, no! The prince needs to make it all the way across. Well, I think we're going to have a little bit of a fall unless I can clear this in one jump. Oh my gosh, wow. I was a little bit worried right there. Okay, because the whole thing is that you whisper to the prince to where he's supposed to go, and he only goes as far as that dotted line goes. And so I very nearly screwed that up. All right. Now, looks like we need a little bit more weight. Okay. Whoop. Come on, Prince. There we go. Got him up. All right. More jumping puzzles. All right. Ha ha! Yes. Take that, you little bumblebee badger thing, whatever you be. All right. So again, this time, if I do it right, there we go. So let's see here. Let's see here. Come on. Nope. I want to go that way. Now the prince moves. The prince has completely trusted us. No! Oh, no! Oh, I'm so sorry, my sweet prince. I got you killed. Okay. Well, now I know I should go on across. And I will kill this thing. Man, Prince, this place is just way too dangerous for you. Ah, what the hey? All right. There we go. The prince is now safe. For now, at any rate. Okay. Turning ourselves back into the wolf. And we're going to go and we're going to have some fun. All right. Not today. Okay, there's probably then another switch down there. Oh, indeed there is. Okay, so we got some real puzzle solving going on around here. So we'll put the put the prince onto that switch over there. And then the wolf on over here, and hallelujah. Okay. How best to do this one? There we go. No! I want that little golden petal. It will be mine. Alright. Now we take the prince's hand, transform and break everything, knock the poor kid down again. And take him deeper into the forest. Okay, interesting. So, let's see here. What needs to be explored over here? Alright, so this is just pretty much a trust me, Prince, we've got this kind of a jump. Oh boy. Whoo! That could have been bad. Got very close to losing my poor sweet prince again. Alright. So that's where we want to go. But what I really want is I want those secrets back that way. You know, the plant right here full of eyes kind of reminds me a bit of the little treasure things that you can get to in Hollow Knight, where you just smack away all the little shells and make tons of money. But here it's just kind of like infinite badger killing. Okay, I will move on. Ooh, wait a second. Oh no! Now I gotta go. Wait a second. Can I transform as the. I cannot transform back. Curses. Oh no. I have to do this all as a puny little human girl. Ah! Well, here you go, Prince. Another flower! Honey, I think our relationship is deepening here. Okay. Very likely. Okay. Oh no! That was the wrong choice to make. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, okay. I think I get it. All right. Let's see here. Send the prince. Okay. So I now need to go save the prince from his predicament. Let's just make sure that there's nothing secretive up here because I'm most curious. All right, nothing up there. That could have been really bad, but we survived. Huzzah! Ooh, more of the story.
気がつくと辺りはすっか かり暗くなっていました。
They walked for what seemed like an
姫は慣れ
eternity
ない人間
and
の
didn't
姿
notice how dark it had gotten.
王子は
Both of them
見
were
えない
exhausted from the
危険な
dangers of
森
the
を歩き続
forest.
けたので、二人のお腹がグーッと鳴り始めた頃、ちょうどよく休めそうな場所が見つかりました。
Just as their bellies began to rumble, they found a place they could take rest.
王子、今日はここで休みましょう。姫は王子に
Let's
そう
stop here
告げ
for
る
a
と、
bit,
夕
said the
食の準
princess,
備を始めま
and
し
she
た。
started preparing dinner.
じゃん。姫はとっておきの肉を取り出しました。
Ta-da! The princess took out some meat,
どうぞ
her
召し上がれ。
favorite food. Go on, take a bite!
肉は
Yeah,
姫の
have a
大好
bite!
物です。 き
She
っと
then offered the
王
blood
子
of
も
meat.
喜んでくれるはず。と、
I'm sure the prince will like it too,
ぬるりと血
the
が滴る
princess
肉を
thought,
王子に
smiling.
手渡しました。ありがとう。差し出された肉を口にした王子は、
Thank you.
と
The prince put the meat in his mouth, then tilted his head in confusion.
なんだか不思議な味だね。取れたての新鮮なうさぎのお
This
肉よ。
tastes
ど
odd.
う？美味しい
It's
でしょ？
fresh rabbit meat. It's yummy,
姫
isn't
は
it?
自信満々
The
に胸を
princess
張り
said
ます。
proudly.
し
But
かし、 生のままのお肉。
wait, this is raw meat.
王子は思わず
The
口に
prince
したものを
coughed
吐
and
き出して
promptly
しまいまし
spat it
た。
out. The princess, who thought he'd
喜
enjoy
ん
it,
でもらえる
looked
とば
at
かり
him
思っ
with
ていた姫は
a blank expression on her
王
face.
子を見つめています。
I don't know, that doesn't seem very blank when you're looking at the illustration. It's more like a what? Come on, you don't like raw meat too?
ごめんね。僕の国ではお肉を生で食べることがなくて。むせながら
Sorry,
謝る
we
王子
don't
を見
eat
て、
raw meat at the
姫は
castle.
罰の悪そうな顔をしまし
The
た。
princess felt bad for the prince. Raw meat's so delicious. Okay, funny enough, I have a scene like this in my series, The Legend of the Ten Lords, where you've got the girl raised by wolves, Narmina, trying to feed raw meat to the guy that she likes. And he's like, yeah, I don't normally do this, but thankfully I got magic instantly cooked. And she's like, but that ruins it.
そうなんだ。じゃあ、お肉はどうやって食べてるの？
Really? So, how do
僕の
you
国では
eat?
お
How
肉は
do
火で焼いて食
you
べ
eat
るんだよ。
meat?
生で食べる
Well,
と
we first
Unaka
cook
を壊し
it
ちゃうかな。
over the fire. We get sick if it's eaten raw.
火を使うの？火という言葉に
The
姫はびっくり
princess
と体をこ
froze
わばら
at
せ
the
まし
word
た。
fire.
化
Oh,
け物たち
you
は
use
火が大の苦手
that?
です。
She was afraid of
それを
it
使う
and
だなん
became
て
tense just from
想
thinking
像
about
しただ
it.
けで。そっか。ここには火
I
がないから
see.
代わりに
I'll
果
go
物を
find
取って
some
くるね。
fruit instead.
火
And
を
with
使
that,
うこと
the
ができ
princess
ない
managed
姫
to
は
avoid further
そう言っ
discussion
て
of
その場を
fire.
ごまかしました。
Well, at least we ate fruit. Off screen, that is. All right, what we got here? We got some stickies. Oh boy. Yeah, none of that. None of that, you weird frog mosquito thingy. That is disturbing. All right. There we go. All right. Don't worry, Prince. I am coming. Alrighty. And here we just go. We jump over the webbing. Never mind what might have made that. Okay. Looks like it's going to be time for a little bit more transformation. Transformation Central! There we go. Oof. I should have thought about that a little bit more. Never let go. That seems almost a little ominous for a prize. Ooh, me likey. Oh, again, gotta be careful. And now the wolf wants to try. Yes. Huzzah. Now, just wait until we run into some more of that. No. Leaving the prince back here. And I am going off to kill this. Okay. This game, what is its strategy? The strategy to this game is just get the prince as far away from anything that can squish him. Alright. Let's see here. Whoop. So nothing really over this way. So looks like we're gonna have to go here. Oof. Alright. Interesting. Okay. I bet I can probably hit this thing. Look at that! I can send a stone flying. We got Queen's, I don't know. Let me call you, I'm going to say Queen right here. How did they meet? They met because the prince came to the forest looking for flowers and heard the wolf's beautiful singing to the moon. And so he was like, man, whoever this person is just sounds so incredibly beautiful. I really wanted to see who they are. And doing so actually frightened the wolf, so much so that she accidentally blinded him. And he was then disowned by his family for disobeying them and for getting himself mauled. And so now the princess, the liar princess, is taking... now I see what we're going to do. The liar princess is now taking the prince deep into the forest to get his eyes healed by the witch, who gave her the ability to be or to look like a human. But obviously, it's not the case. There we go. All right. Let's see if we can jump on this prince. No, we can't. Dang. Okay. Oop. Huh. Oh, I probably knocked that just a little too far. Okay. Now, what do we do about this? And we got Mimic here. Great to see you here, Mimic. Hey there, Mr. Lars and friends. So sorry I'm late. Just got done slaying dragon, rescuing kindly prince. Glad I made. Wait. Oh, they kidnapped. Oop, totally misread that. And all right. Well, I'm glad that you're able to save the kidnapped prince and slay the dragon. Hopefully not in the bard way of slaying. All right. Let's see what we can do with this. this. Okay. I really don't know how well this is going to help. My prince, I do fear that I've made a grave miscalculation. Yep. Man, oh man, what did I do wrong? Well, for one thing, we gotta figure out how to... Okay. Alright, so... take him on over here. And then... okay. I made that way more complicated than it needed to be. Ah! No, Prince, come back here. Typical me, always overcomplicating things. Oof. Good thing there was that mushroom there. Even if you fall from a high place, it'll be okay if you land on the mushrooms. Yeah, no, again, the falling in this game can be absolutely brutal if you're not paying attention, from what I've seen. Okay. Come back to that in a bit. First... oh. Actually, you know what? First, we're just gonna deal with the obvious. Oh no, we have another infinite. We have another infinite cache of critters. Okay. Well, my prince. All right. Woo-wee. Here, I'm going to transform as the wolf. And take your hand. Okay, then I'm going to leave the prince over here because where I want to go next is going to be way too dangerous to take him. Because I'm now going to go and I'm going to explore this other area. Oop. Yep. Ah, all of that for a pedal? Oh well, worth it. I love the way how the wolf's mane of fur just kind of flaps about as you jump. I just noticed that. Made it through one series of puzzles. On to the next. Oh no, what do we have here? We are going to slash. Oh, the flower expels seeds that, after strong impact, let's attack wolf form. Nice. There we go. Well, that's kind of cool. Ooh, overshot the prince. Come, my sweet prince. That flower is going to be important later. Us getting shot because, like, I could already slaughtered my way through those things earlier. So this will be interesting to see how it becomes relevant again. This prince is all like, why are we jumping so much? All right, and boing. Oof. Actually, I kind of have a little story to share here in a moment from that. Mimic says this game is beautifully animated and designed. It's very ethereal and sort of reminds me of the Hollow Knight games. Yeah, it definitely has a similar feel to it, like Hollow Knight, which is cool. Ah, I see now. Okay. This is all about... Nice. Yep, land on those mushrooms. Don't get hurt. Oh, no. No! Not more of these turtle adventures. I mean, they're very sweet looking turtles. But still. Whew. And... No! No! Rough. That's rough. Okay. Back to it. Back to jumping on the turtle. All right. All right. And boing. Okay. There we go. Ah. Prince, come back here. So I'm learning you have to always actually come back and hold his hand again after any fall, because he instantly lets go. So that's something I'm getting used to. Interesting mechanic. All right, turn back to the wolf. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And there we go. There we are. Glad that none of those rock things came back and actually did much harm to the prince, because that would have been very awkward and embarrassing. All right, time to go and eliminate some more of these ugly things. Oh, wait, what? You're gonna make me turn into a princess for this. Yeah, no, you're not getting anywhere near my prince. Nowhere near my good sweet boy. No, and there they go, trying to get close to my sweet boy. Not in this good Christian household. Oh, man, it's right there on the mushroom. There we go. Okay, how do we do this now? Okay, as the wolf. Oh, ooh, more flowers. Okay, got my petals. Come, my sweet prince. The Minecraft movie is about to begin. Yes. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, I now realize what's going on here. Dang it. Okay. Let's see here. Yep. Yep. Dang it. Wow, that's gonna be annoying. Okay, because I have to basically lead the prince through all of that. And solve the puzzle on over here. Oh no. I'll get all of these little dumb breeding areas. So this is going to be 100% something that has to do with timing. Okay. Well. That's annoying. Okay, so based on that little freak's movement, effectively, okay. I think I got this down. Because what we're going to have to do. Yeah, so what we have to do is, whoop. So this has to be timed just right. No! Oh no! Oh, I got the timing wrong. So what you have to do is, in order for this to work out, come back to the prince. In order for this to work out, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to time it just right. For the wolf to be able to lead the prince right between this gauntlet of these weird critters. And we have to be able to get in between at just the right time, and then also kill them at just the right time. Because otherwise you get caught between those two eternal spawn points. All right, real quick. So the moment that you kill one of these, it, again, just instantly spawns. Oh no! No! I bumped the prince off of the mushroom and killed him. Oh my gosh. An unforeseen consequence of physics. There we go. Huzzah! Physics. Okay, Prince. All right. So, watch where those things go. Run, Prince, run! No. No. Ah! Ah, dang it. So it's not so much, because I'm not sure you have to kill them. I think you just have to jump over and run when they face the other way, yeah? Or you can try that. But the jumping aspect. So up at the if you again, let's hold on a second here. Keep hitting the wrong button. Come on, physics. The prince has become completely shroomed. Rip the prince. Oh no, prince. So, because like for instance, we come on over here. All right. Okay. I guess it was overcomplicating it. Ah, excellent. Get away from here. Oh, let's just wait. Let's see here. Gotta get those stones. Oh. Okay. I now know what we're going to do. We have to once again abandon the prince. Let's see here. Okay, I now know what we're going to do. So we've got to use the skill. So move the prince on over that way. Fantastic. All right. And now... timing. There we go. All right, now then, I am curious, most curious indeed. About this. How do I open up that? What is the mechanism? To get my fair prince's flowers. I must know. Now I get used to disappointment. Let's see here. So we gotta move that lever down somehow. What could I possibly be missing? Wait. Huh. Okay, so we got some mushroom stuff on up there. No! That wasn't what I wanted at all. Let's see here. As I really want to get on up there. I must have the secrets. Okay, let's see here, Prince. How are we going to do this? Again, gotta make sure that you're able to still hold on to him, otherwise the prince is just absolutely lost without you. Okay. How to get there? Let's get those mushrooms up there at the top. Once we move all the way over to the right, that'll be it. So what is the mechanism? As you can tell, I've not played this game before. There we go. Huzzah. That was just a dumb guess. Ended up being right. And now I've got a third flower for my beloved prince. Oof. Okay. Oh. Oh no. How am I supposed to? Because I can't transform. I can't transform so long as I got the flower. No! Oh, this is one of those. Okay. All right, random physics, come to my aid. No. Wolf Princess is pretty, and the prince is adorable. Oh, yes, they are. Kudos to the designers. They went above and beyond to make this happen. Dang it, don't tell me I've got to restart the whole thing over. Just to get the flower to my beloved prince. Dang it. That's what I have to do. Sorry, Wolf. I have to do it to you. Okay, well. We live and we learn. Oh. Wait a second here. We've already made it this far. Okay, too good to be true. Oh. Grab the prince by the hand and send him on his way. Be a good prince. Okay. So first, there we go. Very nice. All right. Oh. Let's see. Gotta get it timed just right. Ah, no. First time I did it as a fluke, it worked so perfectly. And now, let's see here. It's like timing when to launch, have Susie launch Ralsei or Chris. There we go. Okay. Now then, to make this work, gotta take the prince off. There we go. And now, there we go. Now I got the flower. Come on, little liar princess, you've got this. Get your flower to your man. The amount of love is increasing. I can feel it. Okay. All right, so we come to the end of that particular puzzle. That was, man. My brain is obviously not wired for this stuff. Okay. Come back here, Prince. Oh, it's getting even creepier and everything. Ooh. Darkness fell. The witch's house was still relatively far away. They began searching for a place to spend the nights. After wandering for a bit, they found an unstable cabin that was covered from top to bottom with mushrooms. It's pretty rickety. Maybe we could stay for just one night? The princess said anxiously. They firmly held hands and entered the cabin. The inside of the cabin was even darker than the forest. Only a few blurred shadows were visible. The princess squinted her eyes to see what they were. Oh, that's something. Wow. So many corpses. The princess realized the shadows of dead goats lying all over the floor. Oh, this took a dark turn. What? Corpses? The prince was stunned. Perfect timing. I'm hungry anyway. Let's eat them for dinner tonight. What? The prince, believing that the corpses were humans, was taken aback by the princess's outrageous suggestion. Oh, all miscommunication. The princess left the prince to his own confusion and decided to sample one of the goats. Just as the wolf's large fangs were about to sink into the goat's stomach, it let out a weak cry.
その声を聞いた王子は慌てて狼に声をかけます。姫、その人たちまだ生き
The
てる。
prince heard the groan and called to her, Princess, that human's still alive!
狼はじっと心の中で舌打ちをして、
The
しぶし
wolf
ぶ食べ
clicked
るの
her
をやめま
tongue
す。
and reluctantly stopped eating the
この
goats.
森で
Nature's
弱
law
った
was
生き
to
物が
eat
食べられる
and
のは
prey after
自
all.
然の掟なのに。少し恨めしそうな目で王子を見つめながら、王子が相手を人間だと思ってるの
She
に
stared at the prince, disappointed.
自分に
So
言
he
い聞かせ
thinks
ます。
they're human beings, she thought. Guess I can't do anything about that. I love the wolf's expression right here. Oh, wow, they're speaking Japanese too. No wonder the game was so incredible. Yep, definitely a Japanese-made game. Originally for Nintendo. And it's just released today on Steam.
王子はヤギに声をかけ、彼らの話に耳を傾けます。
The prince
Hime,
called out to the
この
goats
人た
and
ち
listened to
お
their
腹が空い
story.
て動けないみたい。助けてあげられないかな。
Princess, these people are starving and can't move. Maybe we can help them?
王子ともっと仲良くなりたい狼は、このお願いを断ることができませ
The
んで
wolf
した。
wanted to be closer to the prince,
こう
so
し
she
て
grudgingly
狼
agreed.
と王子は
They set out to find some food for the
何か食
goats.
べ物を探すことになったのです。
All right, so I've gone on now for almost 2 hours, and I think that's a pretty good place to stop the game right here. I will continue on with another installment of this playthrough. Just gotta make some time for it. So let me. Let's see here. How shall we? There we go. All right, so we're going to save the story. Yeah. And moss whale's carcass. Oh, that's going to be something. All right. So return to the title then. And we will pick this up at another time. So tomorrow we'll have our usual live stream, and let's get us back to the Eternal Swirl, and we'll stop sharing the screen right there. So tomorrow we'll do the usual live stream. For that, we'll be looking at the trope of the girl next door and be applying it to death. It'll be a fun continuation of a video that I did a while back about how Susie in the game Deltarune is the girl next door, using how the trope has evolved. But now that we've gotten so much more information, because I made that pre-chapters 3 and 4 coming out, so now that we got a whole lot more information, I think that Toby Fox is actually doing something even more interesting and inventive with the girl next door trope. So we'll be talking about that. And this was a fun watch. Thanks for playing. Oh yeah, it's been my pleasure. This is like a really just sweet, fun game to get into, and it's nice to do something that isn't that isn't quite as crazy as my revenge tour through Elden Ring, which I still need to actually finish my revenge tour through Elden Ring. As well as I need to make some progress in a game like Baldur's Gate. That's kind of the wonkiness of just juggling, making videos, writing, and of course work in the meantime. Which after this live stream, I'll be wrapping up the newest chapter I was writing for my sequel to Bleed, Steam, and Steel. So yeah, it's been a busy day. Nick says, "What a fun game, play Mr. Lars. Glad I tuned in at the nick of time. This is great, and I hope you have a wonderful night." Well, thank you so much. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, morning, day, wherever you are at. So if you're interested, check in again for the weekly live stream tomorrow, and we'll just have some good fun. Then also, I in case anyone somehow finds their way magically to Tucson, Arizona on Saturday, I will be at the Tucson Festival of Books, where I will be actually in the kids section selling my fairy tale retellings of Puss in Boots and the Dark Riddles and the White Snake. So I should probably also talk a little bit about that next time as well. But to kind of wrap up tonight, thinking about this game of the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince and fairy tales, like I said earlier, this game really leans into its video in not its video game into I guess I'm tired. Another good reason to soon wrap this up. It really leans into its fairy tale roots, but again, fairy tales have certain structures to them. Where you have your obviously very good character, you have your obviously villainous bad characters, you have your rules of what you should not do when those rules are broken. When those rules are broken. Wow, I really am tired. When those rules are broken, there are consequences. Also, there are patterns and numbers that play a big role in every fairy tale, where you have usually the number 3. Number 3 is very important, like 3 siblings, 2 are naughty, 1 is good. 7 is a very special number, like Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. 7 dwarves, because there's 7 of them, that actually means that they represent something heavenly, kind, even. And actually, I should talk a little bit about that before wrapping up tonight, because it's actually a really, really neat thing about Snow White and the 7 Dwarves that you don't really get or understand unless you happen to be in Europe and see the things that people don't want you to see. So quick pin in that. We'll get back to that. But so there are patterns, there are numbers, there's symbolism. You have your obviously good characters, your obviously bad characters. You have your rules and your consequences. Breaking, I'm going to use that one. Yes, yes, I breakened it. Now it's old English. I breakened it at it. There's some good rules card lingo going right there. This life is breaking me apart. You're breaking me apart, Lisa. But yeah, so that's something important to know when it comes to fairy tales. If you're able to stick to those patterns and to those rules, you're very easily able then to set the table, as it were, with everything that makes a good fairy tale. And then you can actually, if you're willing to put in a little bit more effort and thought, you can then create something even more broad, intense, and nuanced while still having it feel very much like a fairy tale. An excellent example of this is Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. That movie is amazing. It's so good, but also it follows the fairy tale formula. So you've got 3 characters who are going on a quest. You have your 3 protagonists who are on a quest to get the last wish. Puss, Kitty Softpaws, and Perrito. 2 are mischievous, naughty. That would be Puss and Kitty. But Perrito is a good boy. He is absolutely a good boy. He is most deserving of getting the wish. And that is even shown in the movie, that when Perrito's given the map to get to the wishing star, like, he's got the best possible route there because he's the good boy. Anyone else who tries to get to the wish will basically be punished because they're not good. They're breaking the rules, as it were. Then on top of that, you have different antagonists. You have 3 specific groups of antagonists. You have Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, who they're villains, but they're villains who we can actually see and do see them getting a small bit of redemption by the end of the movie by choosing family over greed, over a wish. You then have Jack Horner, who is just this irredeemable bad guy, and so he gets what's coming to him. And then you have Death, which this is then kind of where the nuance comes in, because Death is just Death. He's not a bad guy. He just doesn't like the fact that Puss has never treasured the lives that nature has given to him. And so he's there then to, well, put an end to this frivolous hero who has not respected the lives that are given to him. Again, Puss has kind of broken the rules, and so therefore he must pay for them. But this is then where, despite the fact that Puss in Boots and the Last Wish actually very rigidly follows a lot of the fairy tale formula, by making it so big. So it follows the formulas of threes, of real good versus real evil, consequent, the rules and the consequences for broken rules. The nuance comes in how long the story is, by allowing us to get to know Puss even better, see his developing relationships with Perrito and with Kitty, and how this changes him, how this helps him to eventually appreciate his lives and the fact that he's on his last one, to the point where he's able then to face down death and come to terms with the fact that he will never be able to beat or outrun death. But that doesn't mean that he's going to give up living. And so you get this very beautiful, nuanced message that you could only get across by having the time to get to know Puss in this context and to get to know all these other supporting characters. Yes, Darkest Daydreams, unfortunately, you did miss the immediate gameplay, but don't worry, you can always rewind this back and continue watching again. I will be doing this playthrough again. I don't know exactly when, because tomorrow we will have our typical weekly live stream. Then on Saturday, I'll be at the Tucson Festival of Books, and then Sunday's Family Day. So maybe Monday. Well, I'm not going to hold myself to that, but maybe Monday. It'd be fun to play again. But yeah, so Puss in Boots and the Last Wish absolutely follows the parameters of what makes a good fairy tale. It is a modern fairy tale, but because it's got way more time and can develop these characters so they're not just caricatures, we get so much more depth that brings out the nuance and brings out the powerful messages of redemption, of coming to terms with death, and all of that. Finding where you belong, found family, actually, there's also a really good message of found family, both with Puss and with Goldilocks. So you get just some really really great messaging coming through. Honestly, Puss in Boots and the Last Wish is an absolute gem of a movie. It deserves to become a modern classic because it's just that good. Now then, coming back to the pinned tangent of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I am about to shut down WDW Pro and his whole shtick about how Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is about an older woman trying to cling on to her beauty while a younger woman supplants her. Yes, but actually no. And the reason why it's a no is because of the Seven Dwarfs. I love the Goldilocks and Bears storyline. I know! It's so good. It's so good. Baby Girl says, the Festival of Books sounds very interesting. It is. The Tucson Festival of Books is the largest book fair in the United States. It is massive. It takes up almost half of the University of Arizona's campus. And it's a weekend long just celebration of literature. It's so much fun. It's so cool to go to. And I'll have a chance to sell my books there on Saturday. So with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, I actually need to step out of the fairy tale for a moment and talk about dwarves. People have known for a very, very long time that dwarves are people. They're real people. They're not just fairies or weird creatures. They're real people. However, dwarves were looked down on, much like the blind prince in the game, as shameful because they're not beautiful, because they were not perceived as beautiful. They were perceived as imperfect, and much like the prince was in the game, locked away, dwarves were expected to keep themselves separate from the rest of polite society. I actually got to learn this when I was a missionary over in Austria. I once had the chance to go to a family's house, which they explained to me was the dwarf house back in the day. It was the home where the dwarves in the community were banished to. So it's like when people didn't want to see the dwarves out and about, go to the dwarf house, which is really sad to think about it, but this was something that was probably more common than we would like to admit, that people who were different from your typical normal were ostracized, were put out of the community. And so this meant that, yeah, that if you were to come across dwarves, you would expect them to be grumpy towards you, to not like you, and what could you ever expect from someone that you have intentionally kicked out of society? So, with that social structure in mind from the days of the Brothers Grimm, you then think about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White, a girl on the run from the wicked queen, goes to the woods and is taken in by seven dwarfs. Seven being a very significant and holy number, usually in terms of goodness and perfection, are kind to Snow White. And so the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs suddenly changes, where it's not about this girl necessarily running away from the queen and who will one day supplant the queen and marry the prince. It's actually about the goodness of the dwarves. Because if you read the original story, everyone else is kind of dumb. Like the king doesn't seem to care that his daughter is being hunted by his second wife. The queen obviously is very cruel to Snow White. Snow White is an idiot in the story, and the prince is like, "That's a hot girl. Can I buy her corpse?" Like this is actually stuff that happens in the original. The dwarves, on the other hand, the dwarves are all like, "Oh my gosh, you poor thing. You're being hunted down by the queen. Here, we're going to take you in. We're going to take care of you." Every time that the queen comes 3 separate times in an attempt to kill Snow White. And of 2 of those 3 times, the dwarves save her. And actually, and ironically, they save her the 3rd time because the magic apple, or the cursed apple, she falls asleep with it in her mouth. So it's choking her while she's in this slumbering state of death. And when the prince comes to buy Snow White, the dwarves are taking her away to bury her in this golden glass coffin. And they set her down so hard by accident that it basically causes a good smack against the back, and she coughs up the cursed apple, bringing her back. And so the dwarves are kind to Snow White. The dwarves save Snow White intentionally 2 different times. And when they think that Snow White is dead, they give her the greatest honors possible. And so what the story is actually kind of saying is, don't be judgmental of the outcasts, because in this story, the outcasts are the best people. So so in a way, Snow White, like, again, fairy tales aren't necessarily there to teach you complex life lessons. That's what fables are there for, and other such stories. Fairy tales just communicate very simple but powerful truths to the audience. In this case of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it is, don't judge people, because the people who you think are outcasts might actually be really good, like the dwarves. The dwarves who we constantly banish away to little huts outside of town, and to keep them outside because we're so ashamed of them. What if they are actually people like us? So treat them well. So like, yeah, there you go. That's the deeper meaning behind Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. the more that you get to know about the culture behind each fairy tale, the more you understand like what you should do to make the most of that story and how you can bring out some more of the nuance and whatnot. So coming back then to the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince, while it has a lot of the trappings of your typical fairy tale and it utilizes at the very beginning a lot of fairy tale-esque points, it's beginning to step away from that and go into something more nuanced as we see the wolf wanting to be with the prince, learning from the prince. And so far, the prince hasn't necessarily been learning from the princess. So it'll be interesting to see how that relationship is reciprocated as the story goes on. All right, so Mimic says, Puss in Boots and the Last Wish is an incredible work of art, and each of the characters aren't very bad looking either. Never speak of the accursed sight again. Man, that kiss alternative was pretty hardcore. Get it? All right, sorry, my bad about the whole furry thing. There's always, for everything that exists on the internet, there's a furry version. Darkest Agent says, also regarding something I said last stream, Funny Bunny is slowly growing on me, only a little though. Oh, the ship of Pomni and Jax. Yeah, I'll say this. My two preferred ships from the Amazing Digital Circus are Zubul and Gangle, and Pomni and Gummy Goo. Those are my preferred ships. Also, we can put in there Kinger and Queenie, but like that ship's already sailed because they're married, and I really want them to get back together because Kinger deserves happiness. Oh boy, that guy absolutely does. Take a drink of water there. All right, so with that then being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining me tonight for this somewhat impromptu live stream and playthrough. And bring the monarchs together. Yes, bring them back together. Reunite them. And we will see each other again tomorrow night for the true weekly live stream. So please look forward to that. If you are new here and you want to be informed of that, then please make sure that you subscribe and then click the bell icon to be notified for that and also for all of our future videos. Otherwise, everyone, thank you so much once more for joining me on this incredible adventure that we call writing. And until tomorrow, y'all, tschüss.